Piazzolla.
Ja.
Es geht ja hier um einen sehr besonderen Gast, den wir am FILUM auch für diese Jubiläumswoche haben, den Raziel TSUR.
FILUM Music School is almost home for me. My personal development, well, it's all began when I was 7 years old. And I like in my concert, I love it very much to combine between the classical music and the folk music. Piazzolla.
Ja. Ja, guten Tag. Sie sind die Leiterin des FILUM Hauses oder der FILUM Musikschule.
Genau.
Ja. Und kommen direkt aus einer Orchesterprobe und müssen auch sofort wieder zurück zur Orchesterprobe. Und was können Sie uns sagen?
Ja, genau. Also wir haben gerade das schöne Stück Gran Partita von Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart und da spiele ich selbst mit, weil wir ja gerade eine große Jubiläumswoche haben hier am FILUM mit lauter Konzerten und deswegen bin ich etwas kurz angebunden, aber ich freue mich sehr, dass ich trotzdem was sagen kann. Es geht ja hier um einen sehr besonderen Gast, den wir am FILUM auch für diese Jubiläumswoche haben, den Raziel TSUR. Einen ganz bekannten Mandolinist in Israel und es gibt seit Jahren eine Freundschaft zwischen ihm und seinem Orchester, dem Israeli Plectrum Orchestra und unserer Musikschule. Das wurde angestoßen von meiner Vorgängerin, der Maria Fiedler, und ich habe es weitergeführt und wir sind so glücklich. Ich schaue gerade die ganze Zeit zu ihm, dass er jetzt extra für unsere Jubiläumsfeierlichkeiten zum 50-Jährigen angereist ist. Wir schätzen sehr, was er für einen Aufwand da auch auf sich genommen hat. Er hat ja einen engen Terminplan, weil er ja solistisch viel unterwegs ist und deswegen schätzen wir das sehr. Und ich denke, wir werden die Woche noch ihn auch in einem Konzert hören, in einem internationalen Konzert mit anderen internationalen Gästen aus Brasilien, also ganz besonders für uns. Und was wirklich für uns als Musikschule auch ganz, ganz herausragend ist, dass er einen Workshop veranstaltet für unsere Schülerinnen und Schüler. Also wirklich was ganz Besonderes von so einem, ja, man kann ja schon fast sagen Star, ja, da was mitzukriegen als Schüler. Das macht auch unsere Musikschule aus, dass wir diese Möglichkeiten haben. Und ja, Raziel, I'm very happy that you are here. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, now you are here in Germany.
Ja.
In FILUM Music School, and why?
Wow. FILUM Music School is almost home for me.
Oh.
I've been here with the orchestra, with the Israeli Plectrum Orchestra, more than 3 times. I've been invited 5 years ago to the grand opening of this brand new building. And now after 5 years, now actually these days, we are celebrating the 50 years anniversary for this awesome music school with many concerts. They have concert in the Philharmonie of the beautiful orchestra with choirs, young kids to adults, lovely music, very high level music are performed in this FILUM, and I'm very lucky to be invited by the manager, Miss Caterina Blair. She is super great, and I'm gonna actually perform here with their guitar teacher, Mr. Adam Solta. He is really great guitarist, and we're gonna play together Israeli classical music by composer like Paul Ben Chaim, Mark Lavry, great classical Israeli composers, and those arrangements made by Greg Nestor for mandolin and guitar, and I'm really looking forward for it. And actually tomorrow, I'm gonna make for their all students nice and really fun mandolin workshop. I call it Introducing the Mandolin. You know, not many people knows about the mandolin. It's getting more and more popular, but still it's not super popular. And I really want that here in this building there would be more students who start to study the mandolin.
Is there already a possibility to study the mandolin in this building?
There is a possibility.
By whom?
I can do that. I can bring my own knowledge to here in order to establish a mandolin section, a mandolin orchestra, and in order to strengthen our ties between the Israeli Plectrum Orchestra and the FILUM Music School. I think it would be a really great project. So in my workshop, I'm going to talk about the mandolin, my story, show the kids the mandolin, play some music. I believe I will light inside them the fire, and maybe they will be interested to try it.
Do you have enough mandolins to try for the youngsters?
It's never been, if someone wants to study, it's never been a problem of money, of instrument. We will find a solution. If education is needed, solution will be there.
That is a wonderful sentence.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there is also a story of relationship between here and Israel and your orchestra.
Yeah, it's a long story. The story began years ago with the Israeli Plectrum Orchestra coming here, performing in several places around the region of Filderstadt. First, we performed here in the nice hall of Philharmonie and FILUM. We had a beautiful concert several times in Bad Bol Academy. We had a concert with the wonderful Reutlingen Symphony Orchestra, which was one of the great milestones in the history of the orchestra. So we actually ordered 3 pieces. It's something that never been done before in the history. You know, there is pieces that was written originally for mandolin and orchestra, mandolin and string quartet, mandolin and mandolin orchestra, but never mandolin orchestra with a symphony orchestra sharing the same stage.
Yeah.
It was a really, really crazy project. The concert was broadcasted live on the German radio, and then we got back to Israel performing it with the Tel Aviv Kammery Orchestra. This project is really, really interesting musically. It brings the mandolin into another level. playing with symphonic orchestra, and I've got critics from many important musicians who told me the new sound that comes up from those pieces, mandolin with strings and woodwinds and all this, the new sound never heard before. So it's a history premiered.
It was so great. I was joining the concert.
Yeah, you had a special part in this project. I'm now nowadays I'm looking for a good orchestra to play those together with those pieces together with a new orchestra. Because those really great pieces, the Israeli composers who wrote these pieces are well known, are very considerate composers, and the music is good.
No question.
So last 5 years I've been lucky to be the director of the Israeli Plectrum Orchestra.
And also the first soloist.
The concertmaster. So the orchestra combines 35 musicians, about 35 musicians, and it always grows because the young kids become adult and they join to the orchestra. So the orchestra always developed, and not just in the musicians, also musically. My approach when I arrived was to base more deeply in Israel. Of course, also abroad, but I wanted to base and to bring the mandolin orchestra at the same stages where the important orchestras in Israel, the Philharmonic Orchestra, Symphonic Orchestra, are performing in Israel. And not just locally. And I had the luck also with good friends that helped me to bring the orchestra to very important halls and festivals in Israel. It begins with the Abu Ghosh festival, which really considered as a good festival in Israel, and also in cultural hall around Israel, from the south to the north. And now you can see the Israeli Plectrum Orchestra next to Haifa Symphony Orchestra, Jerusalem Symphony Orchestra, and the Israeli Plectrum Orchestra. We do bring our music to this audience, and I'm really glad about it. And now I have also new vision, new directions. I want to take the orchestra.
New York.
Sorry?
New York.
New York, perhaps. So in our orchestra we have the first mandolin, the second mandolin, mandola, mandocello, and the bass guitar. Electric bass guitar, and it's pretty unusual to put the electric inside to the orchestra who playing non-electric instrument. And through the years we do have a mandolin, bass mandolin, mando bass. We have also 5 mandocellos and 4 mando bass. They are really big. They are like contrabass, really the same size. Somehow it's not playable or really hard to play, but it's true that the sound is more connect with the sound of the other mandolins when it's not electric guitar. Yet the electric guitar gives the orchestra a really nice and warm carpet that holds all the orchestra above, and the mandolins with this sound more rounded, because it brings a very fat and heavy and high calories sound.
That is a nice expression.
High calories sound. So the mandolins could rest on it and sound more round. I think we need to perhaps do some changes, at least try it. Because we had some experience with double bass players, and it sounded really interesting, really classical, more classical. So we should go and try out different things. It's always refreshing to try out, to see.
Experimenting.
All the time.
Yeah.
You have to do all the time.
Yeah.
This is actually our job in to be a musician.
Yeah. Okay, fine. It's so nice to meet you, dear Raziel.
So nice to be here.
Yeah. Now I'm so curious to listen to you.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell me more about your personal development with respect to the mandolin?
My personal development, well, it's all began when I was 7 years old in the city I grew up, the city of Rosh Hashanah in Israel. And there is a really interesting and magical story behind it. How the mandolin actually came to Rosh Hashanah. So in the city of Rosh Hashanah, there were no music, no conservatory, other than the mandolin Rosh Hashanah orchestra, who were very successful and famous around the world. And as a kid, to grow up in Rosh Hashanah, it's rather to play with the ball outside on the streets, or to come to the orchestra and to do music. But it didn't begin there. It started years before, actually when the Yemenite Jews came to Israel in 1949, December 49, which was a very winter and snowy year in Israel, which is unusual for Israel.
That's true.
And the Yemenite Jews actually vow not to play on any musical instrument, because the fact that we are not living in Israel, we cannot be too happy and play on the musical instrument. So they found their solution, and they did play music.
What do you mean, because you were in Israel, you could not play music?
Because the Jewish people, 2,000 years ago, they lived in Israel, and afterwards they spread in the world.
Yeah.
But the Yemenite Jews, it's a very unique community and very traditional. They kept their own tradition and their own habits. And as it said in the Psalms by King David, in Hebrew, if I may say, על נהרות בבל, שם ישבנו, גם בכינו, בזוכרנו את ציון, תלינו כינורותינו. We handed our violins and we didn't play music because we remember Zion. We want to come back to Israel. When we will come back to Israel, we will come back to play on musical instrument. But what they did, they took just tiny like that for the garbage, and they placed a strum on it, and that was only rhythm with singing, and they sang and play with that, but no other instrument like violin. And
it
then
was sort of forbidden to use.
They vowed not to play.
Yeah.
They can play, will come back to play music only when they will come to Israel.
Yeah.
So in 49, everybody knows, they came to Israel, and many of them came to the city of Rosh Hashanah, large group of families. And a few years later, a great musician named Benjamin Bilski, he arrived to Rosh Hashanah and he established the mandolin orchestra, and he met a very enthusiastic, passionate kids, also with talent. Those who cannot, their parents and their grandfather cannot play the instrument, their grandchildren can play, and even with a really good talent. So he established the mandolin orchestra, and since then the orchestra performed in many high-level stages around the world, including in the several times in the States, Europe, and the television. And this project was really, really great because it was not just musical, also educational. It gave the opportunity to families and children that wouldn't meet the music or the mandolin otherwise, only because the orchestra.
But why did they just choose the mandolin and not the violin or the piano or any other instrument?
So it also began in the first in the 20th century. In the beginning of the 20th century, the Jews that came from East Europe, they came with their mandolins to Israel, and they came to the kibbutzim, and they established their mandolin orchestra. It wasn't for high-level musical intentions. It was more like a social music club, so they can meet once a week, they can have their friends, have conversation, and then finally play some music together for fun. And later on, the mandolin became more as a serious and respected instrument because of a very good musician that took the mandolin to the next level. So the reason that he took the mandolin, he studied Benjamin Bilski, the one who established the orchestra. He took his own instrument that he taught. But the mandolin, in fact, is a really great instrument for kids because there is something very immediate with playing the instrument comparing to other instruments like the violin or the flute, which take a long time to even bring it to a good sound. Yet when you take the mandolin, you just take the pick and think about this young kid. He holds the mandolin, he takes the pick,
and there is the sound.
And the sound comes out, and this is very fast. He catches the mandolin to his heart, and he wants to try more. So on the first steps, he already success. So this is it gives one advantage. The second advantage is that the fact of the mandolin is tuned the same as the violin, E, A, D, G. So it's actually can be really quick and orchestral instrument. So you play a group of kids, and then after a few months you can divide them for sections. First mandolin, seconds, mandolas, mandocello, and there you go. You got an orchestra who play a lot of repertoire, unlimited repertoire. You can take it from the violin repertoire. You can make adapted arrangements. So it's really helpful as well. And if you ask me, it's really sweet instrument.
Sweet instrument.
Yeah, it's sweet. Very. It comes from the heart. It sits. The back of the mandolin sits close to you.
Yeah.
It's like the sounds comes from you. Yeah.
I see you hold it freely without any stand or strap. Or
Yeah, it's true. So the mandolin developed really differently around the world. It's not like the piano or the violin that you, for more than 350 years, you have the same design. So the mandolin developed differently around the world. In the USA, you have got the bluegrass, the A shape, the F shape. Of course, in Italy, the Napolitan mandolins and other well-respected mandolins. And also in Israel, it developed differently. And some of the musicians really play with a mount for their leg.
Yeah.
You should be comfortable. That's important. Even if it's the leg here, if you feel comfortable, that's it. You don't want to be stressed in your shoulders, in your hand, in your back. You need to be really comfortable. It's all also connected to the Alexander technique. You know, Alexander technique talks about how to hold your instrument, how to sit down, so you can play hours without getting tired or without getting your neck.
For example, Ugo Orlandi, he's one of the great
professors in Italy.
Yeah, he can stand with his mandolin and play the most difficult concerts without any strap, without any stand, nothing. But more and more people in Germany, they used to have even a stand from the mandolin to the leg.
So we need to respect all the traditional technique of holding the mandolins, but this is, I really appreciate Professor Ugo Orlandi, of course, but also with playing standing. I'll tell you a secret. In the last years, I do it as well. I find it very, it let me express my musical emotion even in a better way. The reason, because when I'm sitting, so I have this whole place for me, but when I'm standing, I can walk, I can move, I can shape my body, and it's really gives me more. But bravo to Mr. Ugo Orlandi, because I don't play any piece by standing. I chose the pieces that I can play with standing. There are pieces I need to sit because the technical issues. It's really, it's not so, it's probably should get a real bravo.
I saw several videos of yours, and you always were walking around and have a singer in front of you or beside you, etc.
I really like to communicate with the audience. I think the audience came in order to listen to music, but not just, also to watch. And when the audience watching and you give him a nice performance, and in order to serve the music better, of course, so I think it's upgrade a little bit the performance.
So you think a certain amount of show is important?
Yeah, but the show is only to upgrade the music.
By the way, I once heard a story that the Jews who came into the country wanted to buy all violins, but they were too expensive, so they switched to the mandolin.
I never heard such a story. There are really great violinists in the world who are Jews. I don't see
just in 1949.
Yeah, back in that period, well, the greatest violinists were also Jews, and I don't know if they wanted to play the mandolin. I think they wanted to play the violin. Yeah. But if they did play the mandolin, it will be after all very easy to move to the violin, because the neck and the fingering are the same. You just need to a little bit.
Only little change.
Few years.
Now let's switch to your instrument. You told me that it is a very special instrument.
First,
even Avi Avital once told me, you are coming like pilgrims to the Holy Mount, to your mandolin maker. So tell me more about the story of the mandolin maker and especially of this instrument, because I seem to see a double musical board.
Yes, it's true. There are really great mandolin around the world, and also there is a really genius and great luthier in Israel. His name is Arik Kerman, and he's really done Arik Kerman.
Yeah.
He's really done an excellent work and process with the mandolinists in Israel in order to bring the mandolin to a high level instrument, in order to sit on the stage and behind you is a string orchestra, and you can play without amplification, so the mandolin would be strong enough.
Ooh.
So the mandolin would be strong enough to get to the last row of the audience. It really liked, he searched for the voice that would be for sound for the classical Baroque mandolin, for his own approach, how he sees the classical and Baroque mandolin. So he wanted the basses. He wanted the basses to be more powerful, more deep, and more warm, and the treble to be more softer than brighter and scream. Not scream, more rounded sound. He's really doing a great job. He never built the same mandolin. He always changed something in the mandolin, in the shape and inside. Personal for me, I've been playing with his mandolin about 10 years. This one is pretty brand new. It's about 6 months old. It's really great. He done here something special. As you can see, the sides are not even. It begins narrow and it goes wider. His son told me the idea behind it was to be like that. So the voice starts here and it goes up. It works, maybe it didn't. I don't know.
It seems to work.
It seems to work, yeah. And his mandolin, he always put here double top mandolin, as you can see inside. He told me that the idea behind it is to have actually 2 mandolins inside 1 mandolin. So it will sound louder or something like that. So it has 2 sides here for the inside hole, and it has the hole here to this part. So 2 different.
There are holes in the side.
Yeah, there are holes in the side to serve the inside mandolin, and there are holes in the middle to serve the outside mandolin. That both inside. He really doing a great job in working together with musicians, with the mandolinists. He asked them about the comfort, what do we need? So you can see the neck is pretty thin, and not in V shape, more U shape. So it feels much comfortable for me. Others would like it differently, and that's also great. And I think that he uses also a really good woods. From, I guess he get them from Europe, but those are really good woods, and I'm really lucky to have it.
And it's normally a secret from where they get the woods.
So most of the great mandolinists in Israel playing on his mandolin. You mentioned Avi Avital and other great mandolinists from Israel that play his mandolin. But it's really great to see in different countries their traditions, their approach, their beliefs to their mandolins, and it's really important to learn also from others. Yeah.
So what could you learn from others? Or what have you once learned from others?
First, I play mostly classical music.
Yeah.
I've been taught the same principles as well in repertoire and when you go to Italy, then they usually in the beginning don't play this kind of music. They play their own traditional, beautiful music by Calace, by Carlo Munir and other composers, and you have to learn those in order to see the different approach to the mandolin. So you can only improve yourself. Yeah, to be more full, more whole as a musician, you have to study. Also, the bluegrass style. There are really great players there who play the mandolin in different approach, and it's really interesting to see that, and very educating also to watch them. Yeah.
Whereas Munia or Kalache, I would think this is also classical music
It
in
is.
comparison to pop music also.
Definitely, it is classical and important repertoire for mandolinists to study this music.
And
With my students, I don't skip this on those composers.
So they learn Kalache
They
in
do
Israel?
learn Kalache next to other different.
No.
Yeah, I see it very important. I take kids from the 4th grade to the higher grades, and then I take them to the final exams in the Israeli Ministry of Education, and then even they go to exams in the IDF to be an excellent musician, and luckily my students accepted.
They go to the military forces for
As an
playing
excellent
the
musician with the
mandolin.
mandolin.
How can they? What is the meaning of this service?
The meaning of the service is that the army do the exams. The army brings the judges, special musician who judge them, and if they say, okay, he's a high level, he needs now not to go to the army as a combat soldier or do any job. He needs to concentrate with studying the academy like excellent sport. He needs to go to the academy to study now, to do his first degree on the mandolin while he is serving in the army. But the army gives him good conditions.
And
So-
also money?
Not necessarily, but it does give him a good condition, so he can practice a few hours a day. He can study the first degree in order to go for his career later. Yeah, so I have my own students. I'm very, very proud of them. They
I
are now
can't
studying.
believe that.
They are now studying the Jerusalem Academy, and
Yeah.
this is really, really great.
So the Jerusalem Academy is more or less the university level.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about the school in which you are teaching, or you are the head of the school, and how is it composed of?
So first, actually now I'm the deputy director of the conservatory named Symphony, and I'm also the general manager of the Israeli Plectrum Orchestra, which we can talk about later. But we have a very special project in Rosh Hashanah. It's called Musical Schools, where 10 schools, about 700 students every year study different instrument, and about 200 of them study the mandolin. So it's really interesting when you think about it. 200 new students study the mandolin every year, and from them the excellent coming to my class in the conservatory and to my youth orchestra. And the unique about it, because we have many musicians, and it's been more than 45, many mandolinists, and it's been more than 45 years, I think you may say that in the city of Rosh Hashanah, you have the highest number of mandolinists compared to the population in the world.
For sure.
That's really amazing. Of course, big numbers and high quality.
Yeah, and these schools are all music schools, or there are ordinary schools in which there are departments for music?
Exactly. They are ordinary schools, and the project is inside. It's a part of the music of the educational day. It's not like after the day. It's in the middle of the day. It's showing the students that it is very important.
Not at the end of the day,
Not at
the
the end
late
of the day.
afternoon when the students are tired. And
Right, it's part of their study schedule, and it's really important message. and they get 2 lessons. One in a small group. You know, it's important to have a small group so the teacher can help the kids with their fingers and everything to give them a private, almost a private lesson. And the second lesson in the week, it's an orchestral lesson. So suddenly the class become an orchestra. What an amazing thing.
The ordinary class.
Ordinary class become an orchestra. What a wonderful thing is it?
It's incredible.
I see it. I'm an educational person. It's one of the things I do that. I studied my first degree in economy in the Bar Ilan University, and suddenly in the second year, the former conservatory manager asked me, Raziel, you know, we have a nice project. They do mandolins. It's not working too much. Would you like to teach there? I was 22. That sounds great. Let's see. I'm now as a student. And then I began. And I realized that it comes from deep from my heart. Because myself, I've been taught a really warm education approach with my first music teacher. So I see many things he taught me. I see how I bring it to life to my student. And I was really attached and connected to it. It came to me, it's not work, it came to me as something important which I have to do. Mm-hmm. I have to keep going on this beautiful tradition in mandolins in Reutlingen. It has to continue, and someone has to do that. So it took me a while to improve myself, to make all the papers for kids. I didn't have nothing. I came to the kids, first lesson, okay, what do I do now? They have mandolins, okay, how do we begin? And luckily, I had a big pleasure 2 years ago. I've been chosen with the Israeli Ministry of Education to write a new mandolin method booklet. And we did it. And now every mandolin student in Israel who study in elementary school, ordinary school, has to study from this booklet. And the beautiful thing about this booklet, it's not just a hard copy. It comes with a digital work. I mean, the student can come back with the booklet and open the website and play the first exercise. He study only open string. First lesson, he study how to hold the mandolin, how to hold the pick, and to strum.
And will the student be accompanied by another instrument?
Exactly. He push play on the computer, or even by application, by phone, and he accompanied by a band, and he feels like he's playing big music. He reading the sheet music. And the interesting thing about it, that the computer listened for his mandolin and tell him, green, you play good, red, you didn't. And you know, nowadays the kids very attached to technical issues. They work really fast with that. I work 15 years without it and 2 years with it. And I see as a teacher, I'm working less and I'm getting more. That's amazing. Yeah.
But it costs $1 million probably.
So, no, the booklet?
Yeah, I mean to develop the whole
It's not me. I didn't develop it. I just wrote the booklet. The one who developed it, he works together with the Israeli Ministry of Education. He has booklets for all the instruments. He has booklets for many other instruments, and he works with the Israeli Ministry of Education. And he works even in Austria and maybe I will bring him here to FILUM in Germany.
So, did you start in an ordinary, everyday school with your mandolin?
So I didn't start in the normal way how the students start today in ordinary school. So as I mentioned before, in Reutlingen there were no music conservatory or music school.
Yeah.
The one and only thing that had it was the mandolin orchestra. And when I was young, back in the 90s, the orchestra was already had a good reputation. So it was really special and unique to be part of it. And I really wanted, and luckily I've been chosen.
That means you were already able to play the mandolin because you could be a member of the orchestra.
Exactly, but I didn't choose. I've been chosen. I mean, the conductor asked the teachers around the city, please name in your class 3 kids which you think they are polite and behave. So so I've been chosen, but he was really good in pedagogical approach, and also how he treated us, and also very fast we had concerts in the TV around the city, around the country, and later on, not a long time, around the world. So you can imagine what to do for a young boy. It takes you in, you have all the passion, and the years passed, and then that's how it happened.
Yeah. May I ask what your parents did? Because it seems that they fostered your musical education.
So actually, I don't come from parents who do works in music. There were always in my house music. So the mandolin is actually really versatile instrument because of the fact it shares the same principles and share the same strings like the violin. Of course, you can play classical music, but the mandolin has different faces around the world. In the United States, in Italy, in Russia, in Israel, or anywhere, you have this local folk instrument, which the mandolin can be this instrument. And I like in my concert, I love it very much to combine between the classical music and the folk music, and bring them both together, bring the classical aspects into the folk music. So it's really fun. Of course, taking the pieces by Bartok or Piazzolla or Di Faya and play those Spanish and Romanian and even Tsinsadze, Georgian music on the mandolin. I think taking this instrument and play the folk classical music, it's bring the music to life in a very refreshing way. Very interesting.
Caterina Lichtenberg and her husband Mike Marshall, they also try to combine these things, so to say, folk music and classical music, but they can both play both.
Yeah, they are amazing musicians and amazing players. I had the luck to meet them in Bruchsal in 2014, and even to switch a few words. That was amazing, and I very much love to see their work. They're very much inspiring me. Mike Marshall with his style of playing on the mandolin, and you can see the different approach by Caterina, the German professor, who play in a different style, but together they bring it to a very high level and a new way of playing, and it's really interesting and inspiring me as a musician.
So you have all this in your person, united.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah.
And what kind of music are you heading for? Or what are you including in the future?
So in my plans, I have a few ideas, musical ideas. So in last few years, I talked with Israeli composers, and I say, hey guys, there is a beautiful mandolin here. Can you write music for the mandolin? Can you write music for mandolin and guitar? Mm-hmm. So I established a new duo named Duo Nostra. Nostra, it means ours, because the music that we're playing is ours, Israeli classical music. And we already had several premieres. One piece by Professor Boaz Ben Moshe, wonderful modern piece for mandolin and guitar, and you can see the new sounds and how he sees the mandolin differently. It's very interesting. We worked together. I showed him how the mandolin works, what could he do, and it was really fascinating to see how he composed for the guitar. And he's actually a guitarist, so he knows how to write for the guitar, and it's worked really well. Also, there are many new or composers, female composers in Israel, and we have an idea to do something together with the orchestra, because our mandolin orchestra mostly combines from, that's how it happens, from females. So it's maybe an evening of bringing music to strengthen
female composers.
Yeah, exactly. And they interested to write music for us, and this is really great. I have also a new project that I'm working on. I approached to two of my friends, really great musicians. They play in the Israeli Philharmonic Orchestra. I have the honor to play with them, and we have a new concert with mandolin and 4-string instrument, 2 violins, viola, and cello, all members of the Israeli Philharmonic Orchestra, and somewhere under in the middle, playing as a soloist with them, and we have already booked few concerts in Israel, and hopefully soon also abroad, playing classical music, folk classical music, and playing music we love. Music we love, and that's it. Hi everyone, this is mandolin player Raziel. I'm going to play Sephardic Melody, which is the third movement of the piece by Paul Ben Chaim, Israeli classical composer, and the piece is 3 songs without words dedicated to a singer with piano or any other instrument.